the way he ended his racing careers, he was like, I'm going to take a break. And then he just never came back from his break. So who knows? Mercedes 2025, Mika Häkkinen. You guys heard it here first.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Racing Show here at RacePlazaMedia. This month, F1 is kicking off, and we got some crazy news yesterday. It is wild. What a shock.
I can't believe it.
No, if you probably already know, but referring to Sir Lewis Hamilton, his current and old team, and then his future team.
His future team, yes. We found out, so when you guys are watching this, the video will go up on Friday, but today, filming day is Thursday. We found out this morning when I woke up, I saw it and I was like, there's no way this is true. I Googled Lewis and then none of their news were confirmed. So I texted you and was like, hey, are you up? Because I needed to talk to someone about this. And then the big thing is like, so we talked about it briefly this morning and then I get to work, right? And unfortunately, none of the people I work with care about this or care about F1 or know anything about this. So I have someone, I texted him, was like, yo, do you know about this and stuff like that? But it's like, it's so interesting because like even trying to explain to someone the gravity of this situation is like, you won't, unless you're an F1 fan, you won't really get it because like I was trying to explain to a coworker, it's like, yeah, and he was so dominant in this team and like they were winning and then it's like she's like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, no, you don't understand.
This is like earth-shattering big.
Yes.
I mean, it dominated the news. I'm sure if you're clearly watching racing if you're watching our channel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it probably dominated all your socials as well. Any other racing news that came out today?
Irrelevant.
Yep. Pretty much, unfortunately.
I mean, this is not what I expected.
No.
I expected, so I knew that Carlos Sainz might be going to like Sauber. Could be now that he might be going to Mercedes because Mercedes now has an open seat.
Yeah.
But that is not what I expected.
No.
I thought that because last night when I went to bed, I heard about like, oh, this 20-year-old or this 27-year-old or something like that. And then, no, it's Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I'm curious to see if, like you were saying, if he can break the Ferrari curse. I mean, I would really hope so. I mean, I hope that he has a great this season.
Like a final season
at Mercedes. So
he can leave in a good way.
Yes, exactly. But then I also hope that he wins with Ferrari because they need it.
They need it because since is it Kimi Räikkönen who won the last Ferrari World Driver Championship?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Kimi. So
it's been a minute.
It's over a decade ago.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's also going to be interesting how him and Leclerc will be as teammates.
Because Leclerc signed a multi-year contract.
Yeah, it's unknown exactly. There's no specifics about how long it will be.
Multi-year could be 2, right?
I mean, exactly. So we don't know. So there's lots of things, and I'm sure lots more will come out in the news. This is still like just a couple hours old, essentially.
Yeah.
But going back to our video, it's Media Friday. Since F1 is kicking off this month with testing in Bahrain in a couple of weeks and then the first race at the end of the month going into March, I thought, I mean, how perfect is an F1 meme video? There's so many F1 memes out there, which I'm sure you probably also know. So there's enough for 2 videos. We're going to have 2 F1 meme videos this month. And this one, I mean, I always curate them a little bit, so they're going to be a little bit different. So let's just get started. You ready?
As always, I haven't seen them yet. I will let you know if I've seen them because I've seen obviously some F1 memes, but I don't go out of my way to see them. Yeah,
so there's some older ones and some very relevant ones in there.
Oh, so okay.
We'll see.
Let's do it.
Here we go. I feel like
power walking.
I figured this was very fitting for like this morning, us like figuring out, is this real? Is this just a rumor? Is this all a hoax? What's happening?
So it's me on my way to your room and I'm about to knock on the door. Open up. Very good.
Right,
very
that's
good.
what I thought. And then so from this,
yeah,
the mood went to this.
Yes.
It's like absolute chaos.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how I felt for the first couple of hours until F1 officially made the announcement and Ferrari and Mercedes officially made the announcement, because it was like, is this really happening? Is this a lie? Fake news?
Yes, because like the closest I heard to like this happening was like, I guess, quote unquote, I think the leak came from the Mercedes warehouse, or like where they constructed
like factory,
not warehouse, where it's essentially they were told that Lewis won't be part of the team as of 2025.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes sense, because there are probably so many people that work in a factory. So it's kind of like the more people know, the higher the chances are that it will leak.
For sure.
And then I didn't believe it until I saw it posted from the Ferrari Twitter/X account.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Oh my God, it's a hot mess.
And last one.
Okay. Lewis set to join Fred. Hey, Haas drowning. Andretti. So did you hear about Andretti though? So, so I guess one of the reasons they're saying there's not enough room on the grid for some tracks, that Andretti is not big enough a name. So a bunch of things. I think it's very interesting.
I think so too. I don't know. I feel like it's also like politics. And
I mean, it's also like more fingers in a honeypot at the end of the year, right?
Exactly. And it's Andretti and Cadillac. And then some people say it might be because Cadillac has great experience in racing, like IMSA racing and endurance racing. They're winning a lot of things. So apparently there's rumors about maybe a Cadillac engine as an alternative or something.
I think it's I don't know if did Andretti ever try to partner with one of the teams?
I'm not 100% sure.
Or if they're like, I want to do my own team.
I thought there were rumors about it, but
Because I mean, like Haas could need the money, right?
That's exactly what people were saying online in comments. Like, why don't Andretti partner with Haas? Because Haas is an American team. Andretti would be an American team, and Haas
then
is obviously
Cadillac being an American company, right?
So maybe, I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, I mean, it would be cool if there's a new team on the track. I mean, there's definitely some team changes, which we'll talk about later in the month.
Audi and stuff like that.
Well, coming this month, there's some revampings. And then, of course, the next month is...
I think it's... I would be very surprised if there would be an 11th team on the grid. I think there has been in the past where there was an 11th team, but I am pretty sure a lot of the other teams are like... I don't want it, you know?
Yeah, but unfortunately, the Andretti news maybe got a little bit covered up by the big Lewis Hamilton news. Next meme is this.
They won without Guenther Steiner. I just really miss him. I think honestly, this is what Netflix thinks about Drive to Survive. I've never watched it, but from what I've heard is that he carried Drive to Survive.
I mean, he's such a character. I feel like it's clearly also like people know just from his paddock interviews and like stuff like that. But I mean, he'll definitely. I mean, I will miss him because he's such a character. Sometimes a little. But I think it's going to be a different vibe for sure on the paddock this year with such a big character missing. Yeah, especially because I think some of the team chefs, I feel like you rarely ever hear anything about. I think the most you hear about is really Toto. You hear about Horner. Yeah, exactly.
And then you hear about Vasseur because he's Ferrari, right? But then I think a lot of the other team chefs kind of just like you don't really ever hear anything about. And then what a character.
What a character.
But I mean, also best of luck to him, of course. Yeah. And then to the new guy taking over, best of luck. I think he actually was an engineer at Haas.
He's been with Haas for a long time in different positions. So I'm curious to see how he does. Yeah,
and hopefully he'll be able to, turn things around. I think they had a couple of tougher seasons. Yeah. So hopefully they'll be able to do something, coming up.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Next,
also in line with this guy. Here. The F1 community saying thank you.
Oh, yeah. Get a little goosies. Yeah. Everything. It will be interesting to see I mean, what he'll do next, or if he's gonna come back to F1, just a different team, because it's not unusual for team
not at all.
I mean, Vasseur where was he before Williams? He was on another team, Alfa Romeo. I don't know. What other team?
But he's been, I mean, people come back in different positions in different ways, or maybe we'll see him in a different type of racing. We saw Cyril, who was Renault earlier, who is now in rally.
Yeah, he's in WRC.
I mean, Steiner was in rally previously, so we'll see.
I mean, I'm sure he'll find something, that's a good goodbye meme.
And then the last one in this theme, I'm not sure. Well, we'll see here what you think of it. I don't know if you.
Oh my God.
So I don't know if you've ever heard it, because it was a big thing on Drive to Survive when Kevin Magnussen, he had slammed the door on Guenther, and Guenther was like, don't slam the door. So that's why it's like,
I didn't get it. I thought he was mad that Guenther is not there anymore.
No.
So, like, I don't know if he was like this guy in his corner. Oh,
no. That was the whole thing on Drive to Survive. So people who watch it, they will get the reference. I knew that this one was maybe tricky.
Yes, I didn't get it.
All right. This might be an older one, but...
David cooled me. David cooled stuff. David cooled stuff. Oh my God.
I thought it was clever. I mean, it's old. He clearly doesn't drive anymore. I love his commentatorship.
I was going to say, I think, especially like the newer generation to F1 are probably more familiar with him as a commentator.
Yeah. Scoot the other way. There you go.
Sorry, guys. But yeah, I think he's a great commentator. I think it's really good to have a driver who's fairly recent driver to give also insights.
Yes, and also who drove for a long time.
Yes.
Has a lot of experience, but
this is a fantastic meme. Yeah. David cooled hard, David cooled medium. It's a really, really good meme.
In line with that, this is another one that's a little bit older.
So, a photographer took pictures of people before and after. She called them Kimmy just doesn't care. Iceman, yeah. Very on point for Kimmy. I like that, yes.
And then also, I love people always say that he didn't take F1 like seriously. It was like just a hobby and he won.
I don't know if you're familiar, or I'm sure you're aware of this. You know how the drivers are not allowed to do certain things?
Oh, yes.
You know, in their off time and stuff like that. And like Kimmy is just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, is it not in your contract? And he's like, no. Like, who's gonna stop me? You know, and it's kind of true. You're like, I will say, I mean, I don't think every driver could afford that.
Oh yeah.
You know, but there's certain drivers like Max, Hamilton, like people who are set. I think they would be like, yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Not have me drive? Yeah. You know, like I'm carrying your team. Like, don't even worry about it.
Literally.
It was a great movie.
Last one, that's a little old school or throwback.
Okay.
Here you go.
When your PC starts slowing down and you're not sure if you have a virus or if it's just Mika. Also very important because Mika was, of course, Coulthard's teammate.
Oh, true, yes.
And yeah, we grew up really watching them. I always remember thinking that Häkkinen was like the bad guy, right?
Because it was like Michael Schumacher and him, and it was this rivalry.
Yes, and he actually seems like a really chill guy. Yeah. And I think the way he ended his racing careers, he was like, I'm going to take a break, and then he just never came back from his break. So who knows? Mercedes 2025, Mika Häkkinen. You guys heard it here first.
Imagine if we have another
shoot moment. Yeah, but that's Mika Häkkinen. I like it. It's a great meme. I like it.
Next one here.
This
Do you know this guy?
Yes.
Oh wait, let me turn off these.
Crazy.
I mean, if you guys have not seen him before, definitely check him out on Instagram. There was also a Netflix show where he had like this chocolate competition. And so he makes the most craziest things out of chocolate. And so here he's clearly making an F1 vehicle or car, and it's just mind-boggling.
What kind of car?
How fitting.
How fitting, yes. It is very impressive what he does.
Yeah.
My question is it still edible? Because of the spray, I'm asking?
I would imagine that
my
edible.
14, who's that? 44?
Foreshadowing, because that came out earlier in January.
Wow, this is amazing.
I mean, isn't that crazy?
That is, he's so talented. I've seen many different videos of his, and every time I pause to watch to see what he'll make next, because it's incredibly impressive. He's like this master of chocolate, you know?
It's so cool.
Very. He's like a real life Willy Wonka without the
magic
wonkiness.
Yes, or that, okay, so the next one I'll put on the sound, because I feel like going into F1, like we got into racing through F1, and I feel like it has a special place in our hearts. So this one is a little bit, it's not a funny, I mean, it's not a sad one. It just speaks to the
racing community.
Just speaks to F1. Okay. I want to leave it at that, and then you can see how it is.
They want to see maybe their favorite artist and have a few drinks with their mates and then go out and have a crazy night out, but they don't actually understand what we are doing and what we are putting on the line, you know, to perform. And I think if you would actually invest more time into the actual sport, what we're actually trying to achieve here, you know, as a little kid, we grew up wanting to be a world champion. I think the sport would put more focus onto these kind of things and also explain more what a team is doing, you know, throughout the season, what they are achieving, what they're working for. These kind of things I find way more important to look at than just having all these random shows all over the place. For me, it's not what I'm very passionate about, and I like passion and emotion with these kind of places.
That's a good thing about having someone like Max as the champion, because he's a racer guy, right?
Yeah, he's
not that Lewis is not, but Lewis is also like, he's the superstar of Formula One, right?
Yes.
He made Formula One like really popular and stuff like that. But Max is just a racer, and he cares all about that. And I do agree with that, because as a kid growing up, I never realized that F1 is very much a team sport, right? And that it's not like, some people are like, well, to put everyone in the same car, but that's not what it is.
No,
it's the thousands of people in the factory, and the engineers, and the people who make the strategies and stuff like that.
I got really goosebumps about the video, but also what you're saying, because it's so true.
It's like, it's all of that has to come together for, you know, for the sport to work. And it's like, it's not even just F1, it's also like in the video that you've made about Formula E, like we take all of that knowledge and it eventually will trickle down into our day-to-day life. And of course, yes, it's a sport, right? But I think there's like Max said, there's much more to it than just like people sitting in a car and driving around. And also, like, I think a lot of times, like, people don't realize how physical and difficult it is. Like, I could not sit down in a F1 car and drive, because my head would be like, you know,
I couldn't. My neck,
my neck can't handle it, you know?
No, I mean, that's why I was like, it just really encompasses. I feel like, especially as a kid, I didn't get it.
No.
Like, I was like, these people just drive around a track for so long.
Yes.
And so as a kid, like, we watched it, and I enjoyed it because Michael Schumacher was really good. And
of course, German, of course,
you're rooting for your hero or your team. But then it was also like, it was like long, and I didn't quite get it. And then as an adult, as I got reintroduced to it through, I mean, we started watching it again, you first, and then I got back into it. But then I understood.
And sorry, like so many things in my life, I talk about it, and then you're like, and then I kind of rope you into it. But you always had this passion too, obviously. Otherwise, because you're the type of person who will watch practice and qualifying and stuff like that. And if you're not saying that if you don't watch qualifying or free practice and stuff like that, you're not a real fan. But it's like, you have to have passion for that to watch it, you know?
Yeah, but I just think as an adult now, I obviously love the drivers, and I think they're incredible, the skills that they have. And,
athletes, yes.
I mean, they're real, like, true athletes, but then also the teams, like what you're saying, the engineering that goes into it. Like, I want to learn so much more about it too, and also like the degradation, the downforce, and all those things. Like, what an impact it has, because it really is sometimes to a thousandth of a second, and it's just like mind-boggling. It's so fascinating.
And it's also like, it's almost like, it's like, yeah, I know F1 is elitist, and it's like, and it's like it can be very pretentious and stuff like that. But when you break it down, it is like the pinnacle of motorsport for a reason, because like what these cars can do is insane to me. It is absolutely insane
what the cars and the drivers and the teams.
Okay, I originally wanted to bring this up in a different video, and I'll bring it up again, but like, so think about it. Last year McLaren won the award for having the fastest pit stop of 1.8 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and it's already over.
I know.
That's longer than how the pit stop was. That's insane.
That is insane. Yeah, we started a game, which I'm sure we'll do, and we're gonna live stream some of the F1 races. We can't show the races, but we'll hang out with you guys if you want to hang out with us, like a watch party or whatnot. And we try to guess how fast the pit stop is, which is really fun. Sometimes we're really good, sometimes we're really bad at it, but it's so fascinating how fast it is.
And I yell at the teams when they're like 3.8 or 4.5. I'm like, you're embarrassing. Which. If the average is 2.5, but it is insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's it called? Nörgling am highest niveau.
Oh, it's like complaining
on the highest level, you know?
Which, they are competing at the highest level, and they're saying they are, so you have to, prove it. But still, 1.8.
But I couldn't do it,
1.8 for 4 tires? Craziness.
Nuts. All right, we've come to the end of our video.
I'm very excited. The end of the month, we'll have the first race. There will be more F1 content coming. So whether you're a F1 fan or anything else, just because F1 is starting doesn't mean we're going to stop covering other stuff.
Oh, no.
Don't be worried about it. This is not going to turn into an F1 channel. This channel is all about every type of racing there is. We're here to, promote it, get to learn about new racing and stuff like that. So this will continue on. But if you're an F1 fan, you're more than welcome to join and hang out. And thanks for preparing the memes today.
You're welcome.
You guys can let us know in the comments down below who you're rooting for this upcoming season. Did you see the Hamilton move coming? I know you didn't, so don't lie to me like this. No one saw that coming. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, like and subscribe, and we will be we will be seeing you guys tomorrow here at the Daily Racing Show.